and welcome to day 21 of Vlogmas. And the question is, or the answer to the question is, yes, the tree is still standing. It is looking a lot more haggard. There's more bald spots in it. There's Christmas tree balls all over the place, but it's still standing. I did find Wanda earlier on, like, sucking on some of the lights. So, oh my goodness, actually, I didn't realise what a large hole in the middle of the tree there was. Looks like it's time to join the circus. So today's the 21st. The longest day of the year, and also my father's birthday. Well, my passed away father's birthday. He would have been 75 today. But can you believe that? Only a young man yet. loads to do in his life yet. And yeah, very sadly taken from us far too soon. So I didn't work today. I had a lovely day out with my son today. Well, when I say a day out, we had a few hours out. It was all I could manage. All I could manage. I'm exhausted. It is, what time is it now? Oh, it's only 10 to 6. So I slept an awful lot better last night. I went off into a very deep sleep, and then I woke for a little while, and then I went into such a deep sleep that when my alarm went off this morning, I just turned it off. I don't even, I barely remember turning it off. And then I was woken by all this noise, and I couldn't figure out what the noise was. Then I realised it was the barking chorus of Scrappy and Angel wondering, where's my breakfast? So I got up, fed them. I actually turned the kettle on to make a cup of coffee, and then thought, I actually don't want a cup of coffee yet this morning. And I went back to bed, and I didn't get up until 10 o'clock. We finished, well, when I say we, yeah, finished work yesterday. So I'm officially on Christmas holidays. I thought it would be nice to actually finish on the 20th so that I'd be off for my father's birthday. I try to do that. So myself and my son went to Galway today. I suggested it a couple of days ago. He's not a shopper at all. But I said to him, it's Dad's birthday. He adored his grandfather. It's Dad's birthday on Wednesday. I'd like to get out. And he just said, yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, okay, let's go to Galway. So we went into Galway today. I didn't do any footage because honestly, it was like very boring Galway. It wasn't the city. It wasn't, it was, we shop like men today. Now, I tend to kind of shop like a man anyway. I'm not really, really have to be in the mood to, you know, browse and pick up this and admire that. And I'm not feeling well anyway. So it was a matter of get in, go to Curry's. I wanted to get a new internet, I don't know if it's called a router or a router. I call it one thing, somebody else calls it another. So I had a broad discussion with a really lovely girl who helped me in Curry's today, told her exactly the problem, told her all about the freezing and all of that malarkey. And she sold me a router, whatever. And it wasn't the most expensive one, so I was really impressed by that. So I thought that was really good. I felt that she thought I knew what I was talking about. Like, clearly not a clue. But anyway, I tried to be as convincing as I could so that I wouldn't be sold a 200 quid thing in a box. And she did say, if it doesn't work, just keep the box, bring it all back in, and we'll give you a refund. So I thought that was really good. So that was our first port to call. It was really quiet in the shops today, I felt. I was trying not to do too much coughing. I brought a bottle of water with me and I brought loads of tissues because I'm at that stage now where there's loads of coughing going on. There's a lot of nose running going on. And then after all that happens, then of course there's sneezing. Oh, the sneezing was like magnificent today. There was even some like sneeze coughs. So they're on their own really. And they come out of nowhere. So yeah, we did that. The queue for the checkout goes on forever because they ask you to give them all your details for a flippin' an e-invoice that comes into your emails. Now I always get that because the piece of paper always goes missing, doesn't it? So a good tip is to always get an emailed one to you. I find that really handy because it takes ages and you have to spell everything out, especially when you're nasally. Then God love her, she put down M instead of N so many times. So I mean, much handier, wouldn't it, if there was like a keyboard that you could tap in your own details? She'd have it done in very fast time. But anyway, we did that, and then we went to one of the sports shops because Cian wanted new runners. This is almost like a Christmas thing. He gets new runners every Christmas. I actually don't even know if he buys another during the year. Clothes do not bother him. He wears work clothes to work. He just works. So I don't know where he got that from, but anyway. So we bought runners. Then we went over to the other shopping centre and we literally did pennies because I wanted to get socks and things. And then we went to Tesco and we bought a bit of food. And we went back to the car and then put it all into his car and just came home. It was great. So we were out and about. We had a bit of food out. I was starving, absolutely starving. And he was as well. So we had a bit of food and then we came home. And I was so happy to come in the house. I was so happy. I was dying for a cup of coffee. I was just dying to come in and light the fire and take it easy. It was all I could manage today. But I feel, yeah, I was out today. It was great. It was really nice. So yeah, that's been my day. I came home and yeah, just kind of, I've just relaxed a bit. I don't want to do too much because yeah, I'm exhausted. I've just ironed duvets for my bed and Keris's. I've left mine and I've put a new duvet, sheets and pillowcases on Keris's. I haven't the energy to do mine. That'll be done tomorrow. That's fine. There's no panic. I have to hoover her room and I've also hoovered the stairs because I didn't do that. And I hoovered the car actually. So I've got all those little, you know, those jobs. I've all them done. So yeah, the car was manky. Absolutely so bad. Now it could do with a wash on the outside, but yeah, the inside's looking an awful lot better. I've been like buying logs of timber and they come in these like netted bags, so the boot was covered in all like little tiny spits of sawdust, so I've hoovered all that out. I was freezing cold outside doing that. I was freezing cold all day today, but yeah, I'm here now. If you get a chance, have a look at the comments on day 20, which will be yesterday, and have a look for Amy's, I can't think of what Amy's YouTube name is. She doesn't have like a channel, but she doesn't have Amy in her like name on YouTube, but you'll find it because she has written Andrea's 12 Days of Christmas and it is just brilliant. I sat down here earlier on, I had a cup of coffee and I had a couple of Bakewell tarts, little small ones, just little Aldi ones, and I haven't much of an appetite, but I always have an appetite for something sweet and I love a Bakewell tart. I think I've almost sickened myself with mince pies because I've had so many of them over the last few weeks, but I do have a box of mince pies out there and I do have the Bailey's cream, so I might have one of them later on. But yeah, please have a look for Amy's 12 Days of Christmas. It just sums up my Vlogmas. It's brilliant. Thank you so much, Amy, for writing it and for typing it all into the comments. It's absolutely brilliant. I had such a giggle at that while I had my coffee and my Bakewell tart. Of course, it is day 21, so we do have a day 21 to open. I was loving watching all the Vlogmas day 20s and seeing all the packets of badges opened from our advent calendar. That was what I was dying for everybody to see. So there are 3 or 4 different types of packets of badges. I seem to have seen the one with the flamingo opened up the most so far. So now, what is this? This is paper poetry and it looks like napkin rings. Oh, 6 napkin rings. Oh, that's very cute. Very sweet. We don't really go in for napkins and stuff here in this house. We did buy food today for Christmas Day. We didn't buy it all. I mean, there's only the couple of us here eating anyway, so there won't be anything too amazing because I'll be cooking. So yeah, it'll be very simple. So yeah, I'm here on my own again. My son Cian has gone to his friend's house because he's doing a bit of work on one of their cars. This is the thing. So he's a mechanic. He lives in Scotland. He's near Glasgow. Keris is nearer to Edinburgh, so they're in the same country. They don't see each other an awful lot, but they are at least in the same country. So yeah, he's 24 since last week, and I'm extremely proud of him. I've watched him grow up so much in the last couple of years. I've seen him going from the kind of the 19-year-old who left the country here to go to do an apprenticeship, very worried, very nervous because he was a real like homeboy, to this like 24-year-old who's just such a grown-up man. It's just like, even in, I didn't see him all over COVID, of course, and it just seemed like he had like grown about 5 years in those couple of years I didn't see him. So yeah, he's a very determined, I was going to say a very determined 24-year-old. He was a very determined 19-year-old. He works really, really hard. He works whatever hours he gets. He does some, he's a mechanic. He's qualified now. He did his apprenticeship in Scotland. He could have done his apprenticeship here, but the way it works in Scotland actually suited him better. And he just had better opportunities to work on nicer cars and in like more interesting cars, I guess, because cars are extremely expensive here in this country. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous how much we pay for cars in this country because the government has whacked on these like enormous taxes. So yeah, it's ridiculous. They're about twice the price they are in any other country, and that is not a joke. It is ridiculous what we pay, and ridiculous when you see the state of our roads and what we have to drive decent. If we want to have a decent car, we have a pothole in the village. I saw it today as we went through the village, and I'm not joking you. It looked a metre wide, and it's in the middle of the village, so it's obviously happened since the frost. And I was in such shock that I didn't take any photos or videos of it, but I will try. I know Janet is dying for me to do a little video of the village, which I will try and do in the next few days if I feel up to it. But the pothole, ridiculous. It's like a crater came down and landed in the main street. Ridiculous. But yeah, he gets to work on much nicer cars. I've got coal in my hands now. That was a real mammy thing, wasn't it? Lick your finger and just clean. Oh yeah. So he absolutely loves his work. Eats, sleeps, and breathes it. I know somebody else who does that too. And yeah, he's just bought his first house. It's just a little house. It's a 1-bedroomed end of terrace little bungalow. Thrilled to bits. He made a plan last January that by the end of the year he would have saved enough for a deposit and get a mortgage. And he did it. And he's that sort of person. He sets himself a goal and he just does it. The year before, he set himself the goal to get his car, which is a particular car that he wanted. He saved up, got a loan for it. It was his very first loan. He felt it was better to put the car before the house because he wouldn't have had any credit rating to look for a mortgage. So he felt it was a good idea to get a car. He really thinks things out. It just amazes me at times. Thought it was better to get the loan for the car and show that he had, paid it successfully and whatever on time and all the rest for the year, and then apply for the mortgage. And because he'd had the loan on the car, he got approval for a mortgage, no problem. So yeah, so he's bought his first house, very proud. Yeah, we had a lovely day out today, and it's actually been really nice to have him here for a couple of days on his own. Like, I mean, I love having Keris here as well, but I haven't actually had the chance to, catch up with him and all that kind of thing, so it's actually really nice. Keris arrives tomorrow. I'm picking her up from the airport. I'm sure she's in Scotland now, feverishly packing, because that's what she does. She'll come home and she'll have forgotten half her stuff, but she does have a huge amount of stuff here anyway, so she won't be stuck. So I'm looking forward to seeing her tomorrow. It's just me and the kitty cats here now for the evening, and the dogs. And I had notions earlier on that I was going to cut out some pyjamas because I'm dying to make pyjamas. I have some of this left over in pieces from the last subscription box, and after seeing Alison's lovely ones with the pink glitter cuffing, Alison, I'm just putting it out there, I'm doing a full-on copy. I have some of the pink glitter cuffing, and yeah, we're going to twin. I just need to make some. I also have some of the jersey from one of the previous subscription boxes as well, the one, kind of a poppy theme all over it, and I'd love to make some from that as well. I'd really like to make some of those. And let me see, what else have I got to tell you all? Oh, I was going to answer another one of the questions that I was asked from last Sunday's questions and answers that didn't happen. Thank you for all the great suggestions of what would I do if I was invisible. And I mean, you know me better than I know myself. Yes, I would absolutely love to be there behind you all when the postman arrives with the Think Pink subscription boxes and see your reactions. Now, aren't I so lucky that I get to see that on all the unboxings, which I love. I mean, I'm stalking particular YouTube channels, you know I am, on the day that the boxes arrive, and I just can't wait to see reactions, and they're just so good. So yeah, that was a great one. I had a few similar questions asked from me. One was, have I got future plans for Beyond the Pink Door? I mean, of course, of course. I think the most important thing for any sort of business is to keep moving, keep surprising you all, keep thinking of ideas. I have a loads of ideas, but I have learned over the years to grow the ideas organically and not just like throw them all out there. Like, we are a 1.5 woman business here at the moment, so there's me and Caroline works half the week, so there's only the two of us here at the moment. In next year, I would absolutely love if I could take on another employee, so somebody else to cut the orders. I would really love that. I have so many hats myself. I mean, I have so many things that I can only do, and there are lots of things that I would really like to do. So I have this dream of doing a kit at one stage. So a kit of making a particular pattern, the fabric, all the notions, and to have a full YouTube sew along to go with it. I would love to do that. That's definitely on the plans. Definitely on the plans. I had hoped to do it before Christmas, but I didn't realise the advent calendars would take over my entire life for a couple of months. So yeah, I've learned again not to push myself too far, because yeah, there's no point. All these things come together when they are, you know, when the timing is right. So yeah, I would absolutely love to have somebody to cut orders, to take that job off me every day. As it is, Caroline does a lot of the wrapping and she does nearly all the shipping now. So yeah, if I could get somebody in to help cut the orders, even for a couple of days a week, that would be brilliant. I'd love to be able to do more on YouTube than I do. Like, I mean, my YouTube has really slid in the last couple of years. I don't do the makes. I don't do regular videos. I do enjoy doing regular videos, but there are other videos I'd love to do, and I literally just don't have the time. It's as simple as that. I don't have the time, and I have to have the enthusiasm to do it. So, I mean, sitting down here now and recording a video and uploading it, that's actually not bad. I'm doing it on my phone now since I learned the lesson on my Mac on day 4. So you don't have a day 4 from me. Yeah, I can sit here, talk to you, upload it. It's up, bum, 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 done. Doing a sew along takes a good 5 hours of editing after it's done. So, you know, getting all those videos together. Some sew alongs can be 30, 40 videos, and they all have to be edited in together. Sound has to be adjusted, like it's massive, and then upload it, and it takes ages to upload after it's been all edited. But I do love doing the sew alongs, and I know you know that. The other question I was asked as well, because I don't want this video to be too long, the other question I was asked a lot is about the Beyond the Pink Door retreat. So the sewing retreat, I know I've spoken about it. Oh, I'd love to do a sewing retreat. I really would, and I have been working on it in the background. Logistically, it's so difficult. And again, there's only really me, and there is only really me to do that. I am working on it though, so you know, at some stage in the future there will be a retreat. Whether it's this year, I don't quite know, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, it's an awful lot more work than I thought, and I can't half do it. I mean, we don't want half a retreat. We don't want a half-arsed Beyond the Pink Door retreat, because we just don't do that, do we? So yeah, I am working on it in the background. I'm trying to think, was there anything else I wanted to tell you? So I've opened the advent calendar. Yeah, Tick, tick, tick. I can see all my little bits and bobs here. The kittens seem to have left the tree alone for a little bit. I have fire on now and I have my blanket. And I'm going to chill out now because I can feel a headache right in my eyes at the moment. So a lot of it is sinus because I'm so bunged up at the moment. And I'm trying to put my pajamas on. I wore my favourite jumper today and I wore this over it and it was so nice, and it just makes the jumper look completely different. Like, I really love this jumper. It's got the ribbing there, but yeah, really lovely with that today. It was just the perfect thing to wear because, of course, one minute I was roasting hot, next thing I was frozen cold in Galway, absolutely freezing. I genuinely don't know how the staff work in Curry's. It was perishing in there, absolutely perishing. Don't know how they do it. But then I think just because I have this kind of flu-y thing going on, I was probably colder anyway. So I will be back tomorrow on day 22. So on day 22, I'm going to the airport to collect my darling daughter. And hopefully I'll get a little bit of footage of collecting her tomorrow. So yeah, thank you all for following along my Vlogmas. I wish it was a little bit more interesting, but yeah, that's just the way it is at the minute. So yeah, thanks a million. See you all tomorrow. I'm off now to blow my nose.